the light. You're always turned around and sent back before you get to that point. So I found out why. Okay. Yeah, don't turn anything on again. Leave it off, okay. Okay, she's one of the ones that work here, so I'm saying don't turn anything on again. Okay. Okay. But they never go through the light. They always come back into the body. They'd have to, or they wouldn't be alive again. So when you really die, you go through that white light. You may call that white light God, whatever you want to call it. It's a huge energy force. So when you die, you go through that white light. And do you know you are connected with the silver cord? Most of you know that. You have a silver cord that connects your body and your soul, your spirit, the entire time you're alive. When you have out-of-the-body experiences, people can see the silver cord. But that connects you to the body the entire time you're alive. Every night you go out of your body. That's the fun time. Because the real you is the spirit, the soul. The body's what gets tired. And the real you, your spirit, would get awful bored sitting around waiting for you to wake up so it can continue with what it's doing. So when the body goes to sleep, the real you goes out of the body, and you can do all this exploring. The same thing that happens when you die and when you go to the near-death experiences. You can go to the other side, you can see everything over there, or you can go anywhere on Earth you want to go, or you can explore other planets. You do this every night. And the only way you remember it is if you're having dreams of flying or unfamiliar places. But we all do it. But in the morning then, when it's time to wake up, it's like you're reeled in, because the silver cord will always bring you back to the body that you occupy. So it's like reeling you in every morning. So when you die and you go through that white light, that energy force is so strong that it cuts the silver cord at that time. The silver cord is dissolved, and that means you cannot return to the physical body. And as soon as the spark of life is gone, the physical body begins to deteriorate. There's nothing there anymore. Then you're on the other side. And they always describe it the same way. It's extremely beautiful. But there is no pain associated with death. Only the physical body experiences pain from whatever it's dying of. But the pain is left with the physical body. The minute you're out of it, there's no more pain. The soul cannot, I'm trying to figure out whether to call it the soul or the spirit, but you know what I'm talking about, the real you. It cannot experience pain. The only thing that is the equivalent of pain is remorse. I should have done it better. I wish I hadn't done that. I wish I'd done this instead. You have this feeling of regret and remorse. That's the only feeling. It could be the equivalent of pain. So when you go over there, the first thing that happens is you're shown your life. You have your guides, your guardians, you have your masters, you have your elders. It's like a whole board over there, a whole council. It's a good thing somebody runs the place. And they have all the records of everything that has ever happened to you. Kind of like a gigantic computer system. Nothing is ever lost. It even says that in the Bible. Nothing is lost. It's all retained. So the first thing they do is show you your life. You look at it. And you say, oh boy, why did I do that? I shouldn't have done that. And you start seeing all the events that happen in your life. But even more, you're shown your life from the viewpoint of all the other people in your life. Can you imagine what that would be like? All the people in your life, you see it from their viewpoint, looking at you. That's when it hurts. Because you say, I didn't know I hurt them like that. I didn't know what I said affected them that way. So that's when you begin to see, I made mistakes. I did things that were wrong. This is what's called karma. It's a law of balance. What goes around comes around. What you do to someone else must be repaid. There's no way out. It has to go around. It has to come back. You have to work it out. If you don't work it out in this lifetime, you're going to have to come back next lifetime with the same people and do it all over again. Is that what you want? Or would you rather work it out now so you don't have to worry about coming back next time? Sometimes with my clients, just telling them that you're going to come back and do it with the same people is enough to shake them up. I don't want that. Well, then you better settle it now before you get out of this life, because you're confronted with it. You all know people you've seen, and they'll say, how can they get away with that? With whatever they've done? They don't get away with it. They have to repay it somewhere down the line. And time is speeding up now to where we have to do this now, in this life, where before we could wait till the next time around. But now we're having to take care of all this stuff now. But anyway, you see all of this. And then you talk with these other souls, the ones that you've seen you've done something you shouldn't have done. And you say, well, we didn't do such a good job, did we? We kind of messed up. You want to come back and do it again? This time you be the husband, I'll be the wife. You be the mother, I'll be the daughter. You can switch roles around all over the place. It doesn't make any difference. You're just playing a part anyway. It's all a game anyhow, it's just a play. When I've had people go through the death experience, they'll look back at it and they'll say, it was just a play. It was just a game. I see all the people on the stage playing their parts, and I see all the people in the wings getting ready to come on and play their parts. But while I was there, it was so serious, and I felt it so much. But now I look at it, and it was like a blink of an eye. So we understand that we are just in a game. We're in a school, we're in a game, and you can see it from a different perspective. I think it makes a big difference. So they say, okay, we'll come back and do it again, and you make your nice little plan of what you're going to do. You make a contract with these people. The people in your life, you have a contract with them. This is what we're going to try to work out. The problem is we come into this life with our nice little plan all wrapped up like a Christmas package. I'm going to do it, you know. They'll say, I'm going to take care of it all at one time. I don't want to have to do this again. Over there, it's so clear. Makes a lot of sense. Then we get ready to come back, and we're coming into the life. We've got all of this I'm going to do. I've had them go through the birth experience, and they're saying, I got to remember. I got to remember. I got to remember. And then they're born, and they'll say, I don't remember anymore. Because as soon as you come in, all the memory is erased of the other side. And I asked them one time, wouldn't it be easier if we knew what we were supposed to do when we came in? If we could remember, and if we knew the connection with all the other people that we're involved with, wouldn't that be a lot easier? They said, no, it wouldn't be a test if you knew the answers. It's just a school. So we come in with all the memory erased and have to start all over again. And they said Earth is a planet of free will. So we come in with our nice little plan. It was given free will on purpose. We come in with our nice little plan. Everybody else has got their little plans. And it clashes together. So it doesn't always work out the way we think it's going to work out. But all we can do as the best we can. People will die and they'll say, I had it all figured out. What happened? Life happened. But the interesting thing about it is when you're over there and you're looking at your lifetime, seeing what you did and didn't do, there is no one sitting on a throne who is going to judge you and punish you. You judge yourself. And there's no harsher judge than you yourself. You're the one that decides, okay, this is how I'm going to pay this back. Doesn't that make it harder? It's easier to say, well, God did this to me, you know. You did it. You wrote the script. You wrote the play. You're the one that decided what was going to happen in your life. You can't blame it on somebody else. If things don't go the way you planned, you can change it. But don't blame it on somebody up there who is judging you and punishing you. It doesn't happen. You judge yourself and you punish yourself. If you want to call it punishment, they just say it's another lesson. They say all it has to do with experience, learning, lessons. That's all it is. You don't get it right this time, come back and do it again. Hopefully you'll get it right the next time. Or you're in a rut. You're going to have to keep going over and over. And I have clients who are like that. They have been on the same contract with the same people for many, many lifetimes, and they're still not working it out. And it's like, well, for Pete's sakes, when are you going to get it right here? Or just say, I'm going to tear up the contract. It's not going to work. You can do either one. Once you realize that's what's happening, that's what you're doing. Okay, now I want to talk about where you go on the other side. I found 3 different levels that you can go to. Now, you only go as far as your vibration or frequency will take you. Whatever you have adjusted to. And this all has to do with the way you've lived your life, what you've done in your life, whether you're going to go back to the same level you left, or you're going to... They said this is, I think I told you that, this is a school where you can't skip a grade, but you can take it over again. You're going to have to go back to a lower grade and then start up from there, or do you want to keep coming up the ladder until you graduate? Which way do you want to do it? So it's all up to you on these lessons. I lost a thought there. It'll come back in just a minute here. Okay. Sometimes I have so much information coming into my head, it kind of overwhelms me. Okay. Now what was I at? I was at the levels. Okay, the levels. Okay. Now the first level that I have found, I call the lower astral. I don't think there's anybody in this room that is going to be at the lower astral. These are the people who are so deep into negativity. That's how they live their life. You all hear about these people. The ones who are the drug addicts and the alcoholics and the murderers and the criminals, they're so caught up into that when they die, they don't even know they've died. They think they're still physical. They can't understand, why can't I feel the same things? Why can't I do the same things? They're very confused. And they keep trying to be around the same things that they just left, whether it's a bar, a tavern, or whether people in an alley shooting up with a heroin. They try to hang around that because that's all they knew. And they're trying to get the same sensations by osmosis that they had. They never reached a level of understanding to know there was more. This is what's called the lower astral. You might even say it's the earthbound spirits, because they don't know there's anything else. The greeter, the one who has come to take them, help show them where to go, is there, but they aren't paying any attention to him because they don't know they've died. They just think, I can get back into this. You see the difference? This is a totally confused spirit realm. Like there is no hell, but they don't know what's going on with them. So the greeter is there, and he's just waiting patiently for them to finally get tired of this. After a while, the spirit begins to realize, this isn't any fun. I'm not having the same sensations I was having. I can't get back into that body. I can't do the things I thought I was doing. This isn't any fun anymore. And they start getting bored with it. Then they will see the greeter. And he says, well, it's about time now you're ready to go on to where you're supposed to go. Stop fooling around here. Then they take them to where they're supposed to be. And there's a lot of places over there on the other side where those go. One is the spiritual hospital, where they are worked with. And it takes a lot of spirits there with a great deal of patience to work with those who have led a life of negativity, because they got to bring them out of that. You can't be allowed to reincarnate quickly if you've led a life like that, because you're still trapped in those feelings. You understand what I mean? That it's not enough time to get out of it, so they have to work with you before they'll allow you to reincarnate again, because otherwise you make the same mistakes all over again. So this is the lower astral. And I said, I don't think there's anybody here that has to worry about going there. The next level is the middle astral. This is the part that I think comes as close to what the church defines as heaven as you can. It's very, very beautiful. They've all described it the same way. There are hills, there's a beautiful lake,